Good evening and welcome to Views with Joyce Waddell. I want to thank you for joining us this evening. We have a very interesting program for you. We're going to be looking at the best of the music on Views with Joyce Waddell. We're going to take a step back and take a look at some of the artists that we had, the beautiful songs that they brought to us. This is just a few of them, and we will continue to do this as we showcase and highlight musicians who've been on the show through the years.
Get married. So ought men to love their wives as their own bodies. He that loveth his wife loveth himself. So stay in love. It's all about love. Lord, I'm in love with you. Lord, I'm in love. Lord, I'm in love with you. And the woman you promised me, and the woman you promised me, and the woman you promised me. Now listen. And the Lord God said, it is not good that the man should be alone. I will make him an helpmeet for him. Whoso findeth a wife findeth a good thing, and obtain his favor of the Lord. Faith and trust I have in you. You won't let me down. I remember what you done for me when no one was around. I had to hold on through some stormy days and lonely nights. Now he has blessed me with a beautiful, 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 beautiful wife. Yeah. It was worth the wait. It took some time. I belong to you, and you're mine. You're so beautiful. You're so beautiful. Tell your wife that tell her that you're beautiful. Tell her right now. Say you're beautiful. She liked that.
Audience, we're continuing to visit and revisit the beautiful songs that we've had through the years on Views with Joyce Waddell. We've just had a flashback to the beautiful sound of McKinley Standifer. I first met McKinley more than 10 years ago when he was singing and playing on the street corners. Sometimes musicians select places that they want to play. They select places where there are large gatherings. They select places where public walk by daily. And they share their music and they share their talents with anybody who will listen. Sometimes they become a regular on a particular street corner, and people going to lunch, taking their breaks from work, or coming home from work, or going to work, stop by and they listen. They are just amazed and completely mesmerized by street corner music. Often people say, where do you meet your guests? You have so many interesting guests. And the answer is almost everywhere. Sometimes people tell me about different guests. Sometimes someone wants to highlight the things that they're doing in life and to share things that this community would be interested in to make life better for others. Sometimes people have been successful in their own venture in life and want to share their success story. But of all our programs, we are upbeat, we're motivational, and we share interests of the Charlotte community. I meet people almost everywhere throughout the community, on the byways, the highways, at meetings, at events, and often they want to share with the audience great things that are happening in their lives, great things that they can do for others, and experiences that they have had that others can benefit from. So it was with McKinley, a beautiful artist, singing on the street corners, came into the studio and shared his music with his viewing audience. He had been playing for a long time, and much of the music that he played, many of his songs, were things that he wrote. Many of the things that he presented on street corners in his music were things that he taught himself. That's why he was such an interesting guest, because he learned, he's self-taught, and not only that, he was willing to share his music with others. He traveled throughout Charlotte. As people heard him on the street corners, they invited him to sing it and play at events. They invited him to churches. They invited him to talent shows. They invited him to participate in concerts. And he was very good at that because he could do a concert just by himself with his own music. So even today, many years later, he continues to do the same thing, to share his music with others, with young people. And we followed him through the years with the things that he's done. We followed him with his music and the experiences that he has shared. And they have been wonderful experiences that he continues to share with the Charlotte community. And as a result, we're inspired, motivated, and we're better and better informed about how people can start at a particular place and not start in a big auditorium, but can start on a street corner and share music with an entire community. So sometimes if you want to do something, you don't have to start in the most fabulous place. You can start in your neighborhood to play. And when you're very good at it, people will come They will listen, and a network will grow, because the word will spread, and it will go from one person to another. And pretty soon, the demand for your appearances, demand for your music will be greater than you could have ever imagined. So now we're going to focus our attention on another one of the experiences on Views with Joyce Waddell through the years. Audience, we've just heard Jonathan Rose. He is another self-made musician. He was very interested in learning how to play the sax, went to a music store and purchased a used saxophone, started looking through books and teaching himself to play. As he began to teach himself to play, he listened to sounds, he viewed tapes, he looked at other people and saw how they were doing it. He began to practice himself on the instrument, teaching himself how to play. He would go to different parks in the city and just play. People would gather around and they would listen. And I met him where he was playing in a park. And he says it was just a feeling of being liberated, a feeling of giving, a feeling of sharing. When you go to the open space in a park and play and people listen, everything is spontaneous, nothing practiced, nothing rehearsed. It's just freedom for freedom's sake as you share the music with the community. There's nothing that prohibits you from doing a particular sound. You don't have to worry about playing with anyone else. It is your own music and your own sound. And that's the love that he has for the saxophone. And then as the years grew, he said he began to learn things on his own, just by trial and error and practice, and listen to other people who played well, people who were taught by music. Then he began to learn many of the extrinsic things about the saxophone, the things that it could do, the tones that it could make, to make a sound and to make music sound its very best. So many times you can be self-taught, as Jonathan was. Many times you can step out with something that you love to do, practice, rehearse it, perfect it, share it with others. And the joy that it brings to you, the joy that it brings to others is unmeasurable. Jonathan goes out. He will play for no charge because of the love for playing and the love of the instrument and the love of sharing and just the love of giving back to a community. And that's a lot to be said, because we know that we all give back and we must give back, because when we do so, it enhances us and it enhances the community in which we live. And so it's a benefit to everyone as we travel and as we think about the talents that we have, because each of us has a talent. And he found his talent. And sometimes we know what our talent is and we don't want to perfect it. But when we take time to perfect it, we're enriched in our lives, and we've enriched the lives of others in so many ways that we can't even express. So we have another musician, another group of musicians that they were with us at some time in the distant past. And we're going to highlight today the wonderful sounds that they brought to this audience.
Up and down to my
That was a group called Men for Christ. And they were here in the studio audience some years ago. Beautiful sound and beautiful harmony. It's so wonderful to see groups of people together, groups of men together singing, because it allows young people to see role models. It allows young people to see how people can get together and do things in the community and sing and share their voices with others. It was a beautiful evening that they shared with us, and we were able to bring wonderful music, wonderful sounds to this community, and we'll continue to do so as we look at beautiful music on Views with Joyce Waddell through the ages. And audience, I want to thank you for being with us on Views with Joyce Waddell. Tune in again next week for another interesting program.